There is Kuchava. She's back in action, everybody. This is my first meeting of this leopard, actually. Sitting down on the sand there, hoping that her little baby will come out. And I believe nobody's managed to sex the baby yet. So that'll be quite interesting, won't it? Now I'm looking at her, and I believe that it's possible her father, Kuchava's father that is, of course she's Tundi's daughter, but it's possible her father is Mvula, which is very interesting. There's the cub. There's the little one. Hello, little one. I missed the name of that query, I'm afraid, Kirsten, but no, the cub does not have a name. Magic Dragon Wizard, of course, how could I possibly have forgotten that name? Magic Dragon Wizard, no, the cub does not have a name yet. And I imagine if we start to see this little thing for more regularly, we will definitely prevail upon people to allow us to give it a name. That's very fun indeed. Now, does anybody know how old this cub is? I seem to remember that she's about 3 months. Oh, look at that. I think that's a little female. 10th of January, so about 5 months. Fantastic. Thank you for that, James Richard, who's the great authority on not only leopards but butterflies, I discovered today, with his instantaneous identification of the eastern scarlet. I think that's a little female from what I saw there. I know that that's a flash ID, everyone, but I'm going to go with it for now. Come on, come back. She's coming back. That's why Mum's looking at her. I know this isn't the best view in the world, but we can't get any closer and maintain a signal, I'm afraid. So we're just going to have to make do down here. I've got from Kirsten in the final control that we're getting lots of oohs and ahs and sweets and cutes. Yes, who can but disagree with all the oohs and ahs and sweets and cutes that you're giving us? Hello, my dear. My name's James. Lovely to meet you. Sebastian on camera. Well, I wonder, your mathematics is a bit better than mine. You said 10th of Jan is 4 months, is it? To the 10th of February, to the 10th of... Yes, I suppose it would be. Yeah, 3.5 months. Here we go. 4 months, sorry, yes. Now let's look carefully. Yeah, I'm going with female there. Alistair, you want to know Kuchava's spot pattern? It is 3 of 3. Sorry, I'm just turning down my vicious game drive radio. I'm going to have to call this in for Andrew. Not sure where he's driving from. And to those of you, our new viewers, there are lots of tourists driving around here on game drives from commercial lodges, and we're all in contact on the radio. Stations have relocated Kuchava. At the moment, a 1 out of 5 visual. She is in the drainage system just off Euphorbia Road. Ooh, might be wrong there. A little glimpse behind the tail. Oh, that's a magical shot. Yes, there definitely could be. I don't think in the southern parts of Torchwood. I think in the southwest or southeast towards the Kruger boundary we'll have Nkanyeni, This side, we know Nkanyeni from our times at Cheetah Plains. We'll have Kuchava here and Tandi north of here. But I think that the northeastern corner and possibly the northwestern corner into Buffelshoek could give us a sighting of a female leopard and cubs that they do see from time to time on Buffelshoek, but that we have never seen. Hello, little thing. What is your spot pattern? Yeah, I'd love to try and get to the other side so we can get closer, but the bank is so steep that it actually wouldn't help at all. So we'll just have to satisfy ourselves with this long distance view for now. We might try and get down there and see if we can't wangle some signal a bit later. Right, well, we have pulled off quite a driving feat to get into this position. We have got some wonderful signal, thankfully, and we're now really very close to the tree where the kill is. And there we have our gorgeous leopard. Thankfully, she seems to be a little less ornery than her mother. Her mother is, of course, Tandi, and as many of you will know, Tandi has a, well, she takes exception quite often to human presence and gives us little snarls and growls every so often. But this cat doesn't seem to be doing the same, which is magnificent. James Richard, I know you won't believe me when I say this, but I nearly said to you, this is one of the whites. When we talked about that butterfly. But thank you very much for that. She's just burying some stomach contents, I think. Oh, look at this. And yes, absolutely, James Richard, you say the whites can be difficult. The whites are very difficult. It was an African common white. Thank you very much, James Richard. I've just found it on my app. We'll show it to you just now after this leopard's climbed the tree. I would concur. It's so much easier when people just tell you the answers. Now, don't go away now. You have no idea what it's taken to get to where we are now. Please. You don't understand.
Yes, Corinne careful.
Alright, we'll see if we can get a better view. I believe David's sickly lion has lifted its head. She's gone across there.
This is a good sign that she's down but not out. And that, this now makes me feel much better than before. I almost, drove away, and I was telling Craig, it's not a very nice view we got of this sickly, not looking good lion. We better, drive away. But then a few times just put its head up, looked at us, head down, and now it's a good sign. Craig just told me saw the same lion like a month ago, and he also thought it would not make it. So maybe my thinking another 1 month will be gone could be very wrong, and it might even make it. Who knows? Unfortunately, what we do, we'll always have some vet, rangers or vet doctors who are trained to deal with such cases. But if this was a natural wound, or the whole situation is all natural, and then we normally will not interfere and we'll just leave it and, Mother Nature to take care of itself. Maybe the lion might do a better job than maybe having a vet doctor come in to attend it. That's a great face. Look at the profile. He looks like he got a lot of future in him, eh? Exactly, Cassie, you're right. And if a month ago, Craig saw it looking bad than it is now, then it'll mean it might get there. It will stick around by the water and sneak on the animals that might come for a drink, or even little birds, and then it's going to regain its energy. And once it's back and rolling, it will definitely make up. And then maybe if it belongs to whatever pride, they're going to, reunite again and make it in life. Looking towards the waterhole direction and just looking at the birds, some doves flying from a distance, definitely that's not for you. So I agree with you. Hopefully, he'll find his pride, and that's what will make the difference, because ideally, if the pride will hunt, certainly he'll get something to eat. Certainly he'll get something to eat. You are very right. And once, he start eating, he'll start building his body, and then, he'll get the shape back and energy, and he'll also help them in hunting. I'm now changing my mind. I think he'll make it. I was a bit pessimistic, but I think, he will definitely make it. And let's find out what Kuchava and the cub are doing as I leave this lion here, and maybe, hopefully, things will get better and we'll see it again soon.
So, I've now changed my mind. I'll probably change my mind again, but we just got a nice view there of the underside of the tail. Ooh, and then I suddenly thought, no, maybe it's a male. I don't know what it is. Any of you saying female? Let's just stick with that. I mean, that was my initial impression, so I'm going to stick with that unless I see some orbs. I could be entirely wrong. I accept that completely. This is a very restless little thing. Not sitting still. It's just come down this sort of little track and gone up again, back to mum, and now it's doing it again. You'll be right there, huh? Yeah. Hello, my girl. How marvellous to see you. You do have a resemblance to your grandmother and your mother, Again, I say that fully in the knowledge of what I said to you earlier, that it is very, well, it's not dangerous, but it's not necessarily accurate to say. And here comes the little one as well. This could get quite exciting, everybody. Don't start screaming, just be quiet. Let me move. Let's see if she climbs up the tree in front of us. Okay, I'll tell you if she comes to the tree. Zev just asked me to tell him if she comes to the tree so that we don't miss her climbing. She's calling.
Yes, finally, I'm seeing Nkuma pride for the first very good crack for the first time, and it has been a lot of good search by Raf, who has done a wonderful job. He has been tracking, and it is, his good experience, a long time experience being in the bush that led him to know this Nkuma pride of lions is here. I'm seeing it for the first time, and you can see they're just having a quiet moment. Very typical for lions. Sorry, there could be a vehicle moving in front of us, friends of ours who also have been on the sighting, and definitely will have a better sighting in 1 minute. They move forward a little bit, Craig. Okay, just hold on for a minute. I'm going to reposition. How is that, Craig? Keep going. Good. Keep going. Right. Today is a great day for cats. Kuchava with the cub in the morning, and again in the Sunset Drive. Pride of lions in the morning, and again on Sunset Drive. Couldn't be a better day than this. A world full of cats, eh? Interesting how one is busy grooming and cleaning, with the poo, and one is just was asleep. I think that's the one that I've always had a wound. I'm not sure. Craig, what do you think? All right, let's first get to Kuchava, and we'll be back with these lions.
Well, she's come out towards a pan where there certainly used to be some water, but there isn't any at the moment. You can hear the elephants coming this way. If she goes back down into the drainage, I'm not going to follow everybody. I'm going to let her go down on her own. Now, leopards don't, in theory, need to drink. They will, readily if they can, but she's not necessarily going to go off and try and find some water if there isn't any here. We'll follow her along the road.
Yeah, I'm enjoying these lionesses here, and they were doing a bit of aloe grooming a few seconds ago, and they're having a great time, and all females. I haven't seen any male yet. I have counted 5 females fully grown up to now, and this is the Nkrumah Pride of Lions. Nkrumah Pride must be the main pride around this area when it comes to the lionesses. And I would wonder whether, they might help, or they might go and, look at the once young sub-adult male we saw earlier and see if they can get some food for him if he can't get any for himself. Nice, Yun. Mercy, you'd like to know how many lions have I counted? Up to now, I have counted 5, and maybe I would think there's one. I'm only seeing the tail on the other side, maybe 6, but what I can identify now positively, 5 so far, Mercy, but I can see one slightly bit part of it, and I think 6, and maybe I'll keep counting. Just hold on there, Mercy, don't go away. Mercy, how many have you counted? That's a good-looking sub-adult male. And that's the one that has a wound. And this is the one I was talking about earlier. Has a wound and on the hindquarters. Hopefully she got a turn this side again. And very similar wound to the one we saw earlier. I do not know what might have happened to them. I have no history. But oops. Yeah, that's the one that has the wound. I'm not sure that one has a name. But Craig tells me she has done pretty well from when, and that wound has improved massively from a couple of months ago. And that now reminds of the sub-adult we saw before. You're just wondering whether he'll make it, but I think he will. I think, Mercy, if you're still there, I've counted 10 now. I would have another one quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mercy, my count up to now is 10. Hopefully I'll keep counting. There could be a vehicle just moving behind us, nothing to worry. You can see the sub-adults also moving in there, slowly going to the bush. They could be looking for some nice warm place to bed. That one just finished doing its business there. Look healthy and good looking to me. If you compare them to the sub-adult we saw earlier with a wound. A little scratch. That is a very healthy lioness walking there. Very, very healthy. I'm not sure whether that's Amber, but she looks to me, of all the 10 I've counted, the best. Of course, some of them are young sub-adults. We'll reposition forward a little bit. I can see some trying to scratch a tree there. I'm not sure they're trying to leave a message, but the youngsters there are scratching the trunk of that tree.
Hello everybody, here we find ourselves at First Rock. It is so named because it is a rock and it is the first one. That's all I have to tell you about First Rock, other than it is a spectacular looking spot, and you can see for, well, if not miles, certainly a few hundred yards or meters. It's a magnificent sundowner spot, and in fact I have regularly heard of lions being here in the early mornings. We've heard of the Birmingham boys giving full voice in the morning sun from First Rock. So that's where we are now. Isn't it lovely? And I bet all of you are thinking, gee whiz, you deserve an apple juice. It's a pity you don't have one over there. And I would agree with all of you. Did you just show them the sickle moon? It's a gorgeous sickle moon with Venus over there. I'll stay off the car so that I don't bump it. Ain't that purty? Gorgeous. So we came up here wondering if we could find the elephants. We did find them, but I'm afraid it was in a no signal zone. So we came back around to this part of the world. And then Venus is just next to it. I think it's Venus.